Right viewers, good evening. Today is the 14th of August and here we are back once again at Heath Shopping Centre near Southampton for the bi-monthly Heath Classic Car Club gathering. It is a Thursday evening but it's still absolutely packed. Obviously, it would be wrong not to see this mini pickup here. We've now identified that this is a 1982, one of the very last of them. This was the last year actually they were made, and very fine it is. So nice, predictable things we see to start off with. Something less than predictable is this beautiful 1966 Austin Mini Cooper. I don't know what engine this would have been originally in it. It's not an S model or anything. But it's very, very nice, viewers. We appreciate things like this. So be a Mark 1 and Mark 2 came in the year afterwards, 67 those came in. And more minis this side as well. 82, 83 Mini Mayfair. Now the Mayfair was a new trim level for 1982. It lasted all the way, I think, till the mid to late 90s from memory. When I was younger, a friend of mine, who actually Italian friend of mine, his mother had one of these. It was very, very similar to this. I think it was an A plate, but it was black Mayfair with blue seats, just like this one. Not the most comfortable car really, but one of the most charming. Now more minis here. This is a 1993, I think this one. This is on, I think, single point fuel injection with a cat. Catalytic converters were basically mandatory from January 1993. So what they did with the Mini was they just fitted fuel injection and then a cat to get it to pass, and the A series was okay until 2000 on that. Something altogether older. This is a 69, I think it is. It's a Mini Cooper S Mark II. So the Mark 1s and Mark 2s do look a little bit different. This is a Morris model. And it's also very nice. Personally, I prefer this Alfa Romeo 105 Series Coupe. It's been tuned by Alfaholics, a well-known specialist in these cars. I drove one of these in 2019, although the video I did on it wasn't very good. It's a very brief video, you don't really see me driving the car. I have driven one though. Like this, it was a 2000, and unlike this, it originally started off as a GT Junior with a 1.3 engine. They are fabulous cars. The driving position, to be honest, isn't great in them. It's not the most comfortable thing I've ever driven, but they are just fabulous. Next we've got a Morgan in dark green with a beige leather interior with wooden piping. Don't mind if I do, viewers. Very nice. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers, especially on a dark green car like this. Very, very nice. Number plate dates was 8990. I don't know if that's actually the year of a car. Never don't tell them Morgans, can you? Next you've got an MGC 6768 on an F. Tell by the bonnet bulge, and of course it says MGC on the back. These weren't the most successful cars ever. They only made them for a couple of years. Basically a replacement for the big Healy, the Healy 3000 with the same engine. Oh my God, it's new. It's an impressive run ownership, that. Very impressive. That is a long time, viewers. From MG to NG, yes, NG. We see this quite frequently, viewers. I can't remember what the build date is for this. It's all sorts of sort of British bits in it from the 70s in it. But the number plates are sort of 76, 77. I can't remember what the build date is on this. Someone did tell me once, but I've forgotten now. Basically like a sort of 70s, 80s car, but looking like a sort of 30s car. Next you've got something that's not like anything. It's a 1954 Daimler Conquest, I think this is, some kind of Daimler Conquest. There are lots of Daimler Conquest, I think this is one of them. It is just absolutely beautiful. It's an old Southampton plate, CR, and it's absolutely amazing. Fabulous looking thing. I can't get back far enough, viewers. I just ran into this bush, which is a bit prickly, which I didn't appreciate very much. Never mind, I'll have to keep going, because we always have to, don't we? This van here, I always get confused if it's an A35 or an A30 van. The main way to tell between an A30 and A35 is the rear window, and of course the vans have the same rear window, so therefore we've forgotten exactly what to say, but there we are anyway, viewers. I'm a bit more sure though about this very nice Ford Capri 2.8 injection. I think this is a 1984. It is very, very nice indeed. It's a sort of thing we like very much on this channel. I drove one of these about 5 years ago now. It was a 4-speed model from 82. This is a 5-speed. I think it's a special model with these seats. And these are just amazing. The only thing I would say about this is the brakes are, well, they're not very good. They are a bit dangerous. If you see Lewis Collins or Martin Shaw driving the 3-litre S Capris in the professionals, they did have quite a long run up, and they did have, you know, some braking distance to do it, because the brakes are not very good. So a lot of people put Princess brakes on these because original brakes are 2.8 are, well, they're a bit scary, viewers, is all I can say. Right, bubble car action going on here as well. It's all crazy down here this evening. Next we've going to move on to this 1953 sort of hot rod type thing. This is extraordinary, isn't it? Chevy Bel Air. I don't think I've seen many 1953 Chevy Bel Airs in my time, viewers, but here is one, and it's very, very clean. Also very nice is this Austin 7. The other day went down to Bourton on the Water to the Cotswold Motor Museum and saw quite a few of these, because Mike Kavanagh, who started the museum, really liked these, and obviously they based Brim on Austin 7 as well. So there we go, that's probably a later one, I'd say it's 30s. Next we've got a Triumph TR3. And I gather it's for sale. Excellent. Cool. 07792145611. The asking price is £16,500. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power Channel says, this could be yours. It's rather nice, isn't it? I'm not sure it's for me though. I'd find the brakes and the gearbox, probably like most cars I drive from this era, very, very difficult. So it probably won't be for me, but there we go, it's very nice. It's a 59. Apparently it's got 0 to 60 in 12.5 seconds. I'm probably that's quite fast around 59. Next, something I have driven, and of course I found the brakes and gearbox a bit tricky, because I always do, and very old things. This is 1968 Renault Caravelle 1100S. Originally it was delivered to Cyprus, right-hand drive. It's owned by Jim, who is somewhere around here in one of his cars. He's got several here tonight. And it's one of the last of the Caravelles. 68 is the S model, which means it has a bit more power, but still not talking a lot though, viewers. I think it's about 55 horsepower in this. It's a beautiful car though, it's very attractive. Next you've got something altogether newer. This is a 2004 to 5 MG ZR 105 in Firefrost, I think this colour is. These are pretty good actually, I like these. The only thing I don't get on the driving position of them very much. I find them very uncomfortable to drive because of a cable clutch, and the seating which is not that comfortable, but brilliant cars anyway. Warren G action here, very late MGB, 7980 plate in black. We have these special edition seats in here. No, we don't, not yet. But this is the interior of the later ones. I drove a very similar car to this, had a 1981 plate on it, back in 2022, I think it was. I drove it. It was good fun actually. Later ones have a bit of easier gearbox, things like that in them. Now this is nice, isn't it, viewers? Very nice. 1986-87 Mercedes R107 SL, complete with beige leather interior and wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. Oh, it's for sale. What is this? It's a 300 SL. It's an 886. A cool 07831159450. £17,500. Well, it looks like it's worth that. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power Channel says, this could be yours. ABS. Yes, ABS is probably a good idea, I'd say, viewers. Something like this. Then we've got another Morgan. This one, I can't remember what model this is. I've seen it before somewhere. And of course, viewers, we've got a beige leather interior with wood. It's dark green, although that is your luggage. That's where it goes. I think maybe you can use that little shelf in there as well, but not a lot of luggage space in your Morgan. Not loads. Then we have this 1972 Jaguar E-Type Series 3 that I drove in 2024. It also has a beige leather interior, viewers, and it was nice. I quite enjoyed it actually, viewers, to be honest. The only problem is you come out of a junction in one of these, and the nose is so long that you get a bit scared to get chopped off by someone who's coming past you. But just be aware of that. Next we've got this lovely 1970 Wolseley. This will be a 1660. I have seen this before many times, and it is fabulous, viewers. It's one of the last of the 1660s. I've discontinued the following year. This one's a manual, so you do see quite a few that are automatic.
Those have seatbelts.
And then we've got a Bentley Mulsanne S. Now these aren't actually worth that much money. You'd be surprised. You can pick one of these up for about £5,000 if it's a bit tatty, which is just insane to me that these are so cheap, but they are, for whatever reason. Probably because lots can go wrong and it can be expensive. It's very nice. It's a bit dark in here for me. It's a bit sort of black. We want sort of more, I don't know, cream leather and wood. But there we go. We've got the later front end on there with the quad headlamps. Another Wolseley. Now I'm going to be careful, viewers. But I don't think it's the same model. I think this is a little bit larger one. Oh, smell that leather from here. It's extraordinary. It's a 699 this year, so it'd be not only a bit earlier, about 10 years earlier in fact, just starting very similar on them. Then we got a nice Jaguar. This I think it's like a 340 or something like that. It's a Mark II, but it's got the later bumpers on it. It marks it as a 240 or a 340. There you go, it's a 340. It'd be about a 67, 68, something like that. And then first of the bubble cars, we've got a couple of them here tonight. We've got a Trojan. I can't remember, I think they were built in Croydon or something like that. They were a licensed copy of a Heinkel bubble car from Germany. I think it'd be, I don't know, early 60s, something like that. So these little Trojans. Next we've got an MGTD. Someone's very kindly left the information sheet on for me, which is good. We enjoy that, yes. There we go, it's a 1952, this one. And it's very nice. I think we saw one of those at Cotswold Motors, didn't we? And then we've got the 1914 to stroke 15 Model T that Jim owns. I don't know where Jim is. He's in one of the other cars, I think. I keep being offered this for review, and I have refused because I do not want to die in a Model T. Just take a look at these controls down here, viewers, and then you'll understand why maybe we don't want to drive it, because we don't want to end up in a bit of a pickle in a Model T. Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power Channel has agreed to drive it, but we haven't got around to actually filming it yet, but that's there it is. Next we've got, I think this is a Sunbeam. This is something that Jim has custody of some of the time as well, and he said I should try driving it, which I have again refused because I don't want to die in a really old car with terrible brakes and a gearbox I can't operate. So I'm afraid that's going to stay just there, and we will respect it and not damage it. Next we've got an MGTF. Now this is a very late one. This is one of the continuation cars. They came out in 2008, the continuation models. They were built from kit imported from China. They don't have the K series, they have the N series. The problem was though, in about 2009, while this car was registered, around then, it's a personal plate, but it will be around then, these cars were competing against used TFs that were much, much cheaper. And the differences weren't that sort of major between the old and the new ones to sort of warrant you spending more money. We've got a slightly different interior, silent passenger airbag and things like that, and the N series, not K series in here, which is a more reliable unit. But nevertheless, it was just a bit much to justify the extra cost when you could buy a very nice second-hand one for, I don't know, third quarter of the price perhaps. Something that isn't quite like that is this very, very nice Peugeot. It looks very small, this. It's a 204. It's very nice. We like this sort of thing very much. I'm sorry, it's a 304. The 304 and 204 have the same sort of centre section. I can't remember what the difference between the 304 and 204 Cabriolets was now. Somebody in the comments below can tell me. We've got a Harley. Very nice, and a big Cadillac Fleetwood, but it's always here, taking up more than one parking space because the parking spaces are too small. Never mind. The Brougham d'Elegance. I think this is 76 from memory, this one. Barely fit it in the frame. Next we've got something else very, very old. Something re-registered. SV is a sort of thing you re-register cars like this on. It's getting really busy around here today. It's crazy. There we go. Another Model T. I think this is a little bit later than the other one. Be a very late one, I think. Something else that's rather unusual is this Datsun. That's very nice to us. We like Datsuns. In fact, we're in the Datsun Owners UK Facebook group, which caters for pre-1995 Datsuns and Nissans. This is about a 1970. I can't remember what model this is, to be honest now. I should know, but I don't. This is much, much earlier than the stuff I'm familiar with anyway. You know, these are the things that started to sell like quite in substantial numbers in places like South Africa. Although they were quite rare initially in somewhere like Britain. Next we've got this very nice 1997 Jaguar XK Coupe. Yes, and it has a nice cream leather interior views and wood that I drove last year on the channel. It's owned by Martin of Martinez, who was very kind to let me have a go in it, and I enjoyed it very much, but I just about held to my licence because this thing was quite fast, viewers, and you realise that around here it's full of speed cameras and you've got to be very careful you don't lose your licence and end up in prison. That's my tip, don't lose your licence and end up in prison. Next we've got this lovely Triumph Stag. This is a 77, it's one of the very last of them. This is the year production actually finished. I think this is Mimosa Red, mostly yellow is this particular one. This is auto. The one I drove last time, I drove a Stag, which is 2023, was also an auto, but it's a much earlier car, it's a 1972. So that was a Mark 1, this is a Mark 2. Then we've got this Mustang, I think this is 68, yes it is. 68 Mustang in rather nice condition, viewers. I think we will definitely enjoy that. Let's try to get run over here, viewers. Now, a gentleman here on the end is taking his Riley away, and that is very nice. I think this is a 35, this Riley, from memory. That is a stunning looking car. I love the colour of that. That is really, really nice. Local plate to the area, RV was an old Portsmouth plate. My parents had an old Jetta from 1983 LRV 46Y, which is also registered around here. Next we've got another sort of Nissan from the same era as the Sunny. This is a 1991 K10 Micro. I think it's probably a 1 litre. It's been modified, of course, to make it look like a March, just a Japanese version of it. It's probably only got maybe the 1 litre originally, but it's had an engine from the Figaro put in it, which is also used in a March Super Turbo. Got a lot more power in here than otherwise you would have had in the standard 1 litre Micro, which is about 50 horsepower. This is a lot more than that. I think it's approaching 85. So it's still not loads, but it's a lot more powerful than the standard 1 litre LS, of which I drove an example in 2021, and it was quite slow. Chairman of the club, who's called John, has brought his stunning 1965 Lotus Cortina. Yes, it is a real one, viewers. It's very, very nice indeed. If I owned something this valuable, I probably wouldn't want to get it out too much in public, but I applaud someone who is doing that this evening. Next we've got this Boxster. It's a 2001 car, this is. Original generation car. Is this a 2.7? It's an S. I can't remember when the 2.7s came in. Originally they were I think 2.5s. Then we've got this lovely, lovely Escort Mexico. This is a Mark 1 facelift, 73, 74 registration. Very, very original looking car. I can't remember if the wheels are original or not, but it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Supplied by a dealership up in Clapham, the early 70s. Some Adlards. It is a really nice colour, very typical of the era. So we've also got another boy car. This time we've got the Zeta. These were built, the UK market, built in Brighton actually, in old railway works. This is a left-hand drive one, so maybe it's been imported from somewhere else. Actually, look at this plate down here. Maybe it'll say. No, it's manufactured by Zeta of Great Britain. So why is it left-hand drive? I don't know. Answers in the comments section, viewers. Right, let's move on to the next row. We've got a nice Cobra replica. Several of these in the club. Met the chap who owns a different one of these. There's so many kits for them. It's unbelievable actually how many there are. This one, I don't actually remember how old this is actually. Would have been put through the SVA test. I don't know. It's based perhaps on a car from the 60s, but maybe it's just a personal plate. I don't know. Next, we've got a very, very nice Ferrari, viewers. Is this a California T by any chance? I look at the dash, it'll probably tell us something, won't it? It is a California T. I actually got something right for once. It's a very nice interior colour. Someone's got actual sort of kind of taste. I'd imagine something like this. I think this car was one of the first to have Android Auto Apple CarPlay in it. Something that's a really weird fact about these. I think it's something like that, about 2012 or something like that. The Apple CarPlay was introduced in a Ferrari for some reason. Then we've got a very nice XJS. This is I think a 1994, this car. It is beautiful. And it's got a beige leather interior and wood. It's a very, very lovely colour, this. It's the sort of thing we like very much on this channel, viewers. A very tasteful gentleman owns this, and we like it very much. Next we've got an AC. This is a very rare car, actually. AC Brooklyn Ace from 1995. I think it's got, yes, it's got a Ford Mustang engine. It's actually, I think, the same sort of engine that you get in some other cars as well, but I can't remember. Only 46 produced. It's a nice beige leather interior, viewers, and wood. A lot of sort of Ford bits in here. It wasn't a success though, viewers, really. It looks right, isn't it? But not the biggest selling car ever. Here we have a very nice Alvis. I've met the owner of this, he's very nice, his name's Phil. I think he's selling it though, which is a shame. He wants £30,500 for it, and you can call 07971297830. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. Let's have a look at the interior, some biscuit leather in here. Yes, very nice. It's not my kind of thing really, viewers. He's actually got another Alvis too, but at some point I'm hoping to drive. I must get in touch with him and ask him to drive that. It's a TA14 Mullin. I think it's a 52, this one, from memory. Something I do know a bit more about is this Citroen DS. This is a DS 19. It's a 1964 South African import, and it featured on the channel in 2024. I drove this, and it was a bit of a pain. They're not easy to drive this at all. They really aren't. It's got a column change and no single mesh on first for a start, and then there are various other weird things about it, but you have to try one of these if you can at some point in your life, because they're just one of the things you have to do. Next you've got a Vauxhall Viva HB. This is the GT model as well. Like the Daimler we saw right at the beginning of the video, this is an also Southampton plate, CR. Look at that black bonnet, very, very sort of late 60s, sort of custom looking thing. But this is how they came out as standard actually, this is what it looked like. Wheels might have been changed though, I think. But anyway, 68, 69 a G. Then a Triumph with a V8 engine. Now, is this original TR8 or is it had an engine put in it? Let's have a look at the back. So, Solihull built car. I'm afraid I don't know the answer to the question. It could be either. So 81, 82 plate, production finished 81 in Solihull. NAMX5 or UNOS. I haven't seen one of these in a little while actually. Maybe I've not been to enough shows recently, and so I haven't seen enough of them. But I imagine we'll be going to have a show this weekend. We'll see plenty of those. Next, you've got a Sunbeam Talbot 90. Goodness me. I think this is from before Sunbeam became part of Roots as this design. I forget now. Some of them are coming below can tell me when Roots bought Sunbeam, but I think it was when Sunbeam was still more of an independent company from memory, the sort of early 50s. And another NA, this time a UNOS, another gnarly steering wheel. This hasn't got the lighter coloured interior, it's got a darker interior in it. I can't remember the name of this colour now. Somebody, I'm sure, can tell me the name of this colour, because I've forgotten. Then we have an R53 Mini Cooperette. I drove one of these a few years ago now. It was quite fast, viewers. The Tritec engine in this is, well, better than the Prince engine that came in the next generation Mini Cooperette, because we can't talk about those in this channel, because Prince engine it's not very good. Anyway, another co-replica here. Yeah. With a big Ford racing engine. Can't remember what kit that is now. And then more Austin 7 action, of course. This I think is a similar one to the one we saw earlier on, which I think is a Ruby. This looks like one to me. They're not actually that expensive, these, to be honest. If you want to buy one, maybe £6,000-7,000 for a car like this. It's not much, is it, considering how old it is? But then rarity and age don't equal value, do they? 1978 Peugeot 504 Cabrio. Not the one I drove on my channel last year. Unfortunately, that had an electrical fire last year, which I didn't cause, and that is having some restoration. This one is a later one. That's a 73. It was a 78. Rare kind of dealer conversion for right-hand drive. Most of them became anywhere in the world with left-hand drive. There were two versions of the right-hand drive convertible in this country. Hodek made the ones up until 73, I think it was, and then these were sort of one-off ones. These later ones, like this one, made by a dealer. I can't remember where they were now, but extremely rare and beautiful car. Next we have a Series 2 E-Type. I like what the Series 3 we saw earlier on. Huge big sort of grille on the front, and again beige leather interior with wood. I think this is a 2+2 one. Yes, it is. 2+0 really. I have driven a 2+2 Series 1 E-Type, and they really are 2+0. There's not really a lot of space in them. That is about a 1970, I think. Again, it's very nice. So is this Mitsubishi Legnum, or Galant was the UK name for these. This is an imported one with all of the power views, a V6 and all-wheel drive and all kinds of things. I think this is a 97. I did try to look at driving this, but the insurance wasn't really on my side, unfortunately, with this. So we haven't tried it so far. Next, we got this car with a Hayabusa engine in it. Very fast. Extraordinarily fast. I mean, when you've got the Hayabusa engine in there, of course, and you don't have any weight, of course it's going to be quite quick. So viewers, next we've got this Mark II Jaguar. Don't exactly know what year this is because we haven't got an edge-rated plate on it. Look at all those switches in there, I like that. Yeah, so it's also pointing that way, so all we can tell you is it's a 3.4 from some point in the city, I imagine. Next, we've got something else you've driven on the channel. This 1993 Mazda 121, which was great. I really enjoyed this. It's got a very unusual, unique front bumper that was a dealer fit option, I think. It's still wearing the original plates of Hilterby Mazda, where I bought a car in 2002, which no longer exists. And it's lived in this area its entire life, as far as we know. Extraordinary car, extraordinary styling. No rev counter though, which is a shame, but we get electric windows and things, and we have the sun top. Not all of them have a sun top, but the ones I've seen left, and there are not many left, there are about 15 maybe, something like that. The ones with sun tops are the most common models. MGB 1966. See a different interior from the one in the 79 model we saw earlier. Then we have another first generation Boxster. I think this is a little bit older than the 2001 car we saw. This is just a 5-speed manual in this, it's just a normal one. I wonder if that's there's a 2.7 now. It's got a facelifted rear end on that one. Then we've got a US Air Force Jeep, not an Army one, which is unusual really. Most of the ones you see are US Army ones. Not pretty good to put the key in there, but it's got some kind of complicated starting procedure in there, so that's probably its own defence. You don't even know how to start the engine. Most people wouldn't anyway. 1965 Mustang. That's a very nice colour, isn't it? It's a beautiful colour. A very nice beige interior. It's a vinyl or leather interior. I don't know what the Mustangs came with originally, actually. Oh no, viewers, not more prickly bushes. I don't like prickly bushes, viewers. They disturb me somewhat. And actually got this Trojan. This will be from the mid-20s. It's probably around 100 years old, this Trojan. Do we have solid tyres still, or are we on conventional tyres on this? Because originally people just had solid tyres on them, which probably can't have helped the ride particularly. And we've got this enormous Ford F100 from about 1973. Huge engine transplant in here. Plastic cover, of course, means it's a bit later than the original. Oh, it's a manual. I mean, you can fit a lot of stuff in the back of this Ranger XLT, can't you? The F100 Ranger. I thought the F100 and Ranger were two different trucks, but clearly not. So we've got Austin Cambridge. This is similar to the Wolseley 6060 we saw, the red one. I always am a bit scared about these because I know the brakes and the gearbox will be very difficult for someone like me, so I don't sort of advertise the fact that I want to drive one too much. We need sort of all synchromesh gearboxes and better brakes, but we don't always get them, do we? Another one of these Mazda 121s, I think this is also in 1993. It's also owned by Jim, who owns 3 of them. This is a slightly different model to the last one. We don't have a fancy rear bumper. We do have the spoiler. I don't know if that does anything at all to make the car go faster or give any downforce, but it's got one anyway. And we got another Land Rover here, short wheelbase one. What if it's still got the 2.25 engine in it? There we go. I think it's a Series 1 probably. Abar 595, and then we bought the Sunny today, viewers, because, well, you know, why not? It's a pleasure to be out this evening in an old car. Many fabulous other old cars around it too. And then we've got a very beautiful Triumph Dolomite Sprint. Very, very nice. Early one. No head restraints. This one will be about a 1973 or 74 on M. And it's in beautiful condition. That is amazing. Having owned a Dolomite myself, it was a 1500 SE, which was from 1980. It's a late special edition one I had about 20 years ago now. Gosh, I'm old. We've got a 1963 Ford Anglia Deluxe. We're doing well, viewers. We've got 3 blue saloon cars in a row from the 60s, 70s and 1980s. It depends what you prefer. I'm not going to say. So there we are, viewers. I think that's enough for this evening. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and we shall see you again soon for some more incorrect information.